Only 9 people in that television studio knew who Bruce Lee was. The sumo wrestler didn't. The show's producers didn't. The cameramen didn't. The 200 audience members watching the live recording of the Pierre Berton Show didn't recognize the thin Chinese man sitting quietly in the guest chair. That was about to change. In the next 12 minutes, the 320-pound sumo champion would learn the most humbling lesson of his career. And everyone in that studio would witness something they'd talk about for the rest of their lives. This is what really happened on December 9, 1971. This is the story they never forgot. Toronto, Ontario, Canada. CFTO Studios, Studio 3. December 9, 1971. Thursday afternoon, 2:15 p.m. The Pierre Berton Show is in its second season, Canada's most popular talk show, broadcast nationally to 4 million viewers. The studio is compact, designed for intimate conversation. 3 camera positions, boom microphone overhead, hot studio lights creating a temperature of 78 degrees. The smell of electrical equipment and fresh coffee. The guest chairs are positioned close, almost confrontational, forcing eye contact. This is Pierre Berton's signature style, face-to-face, no distance, nowhere to hide. In the control booth, the production team reviews notes. Today's episode is supposed to be straightforward, a cultural interest piece. Interview the martial arts instructor from California, discuss the Chinese fighting systems, show some demonstrations, maybe break a board, keep it light. The producers scheduled 22 minutes of airtime. They have no idea what's about to happen. 200 studio audience members fill the tiered seats. Mostly middle-aged Canadians, conservative, skeptical of anything flashy or foreign. They're here because tickets are free, and Pierre Berton is Canada's most trusted interviewer. They've never heard of Kung Fu. They've never seen a martial arts demonstration. Most of them think karate is Japanese exercise. The atmosphere is curious, but detached. Another Thursday afternoon taping. Another guest to watch. Another show. Then the stage door opens. Takeshi, the Immovable Yamamoto, enters the studio. Not scheduled, not on the guest list, not announced. He's here because someone told him Bruce Lee would be here. Someone told him this Chinese instructor claims to be faster than anyone. Someone told him Kung Fu can beat any martial art. Takeshi came to prove them wrong. Takeshi Yamamoto is 38 years old, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 320 pounds of sumo-trained mass. He's been training since age 11, 27 years of dedicated practice. Sumo wrestler, yokozuna rank, the highest achievable rank in professional sumo. Champion of 12 consecutive tournaments in Japan. Undefeated in official matches for 4 years, 89 consecutive victories. He moved to Canada in 1968, retired from competition, now teaches sumo wrestling at a private dojo in Toronto. 47 students. He is the most respected sumo instructor in North America, and he carries himself like a monument. Takeshi stands 6 feet 4 inches. His chest measures 58 inches around. His thighs are 32 inches in circumference. His hands are the size of dinner plates. When he walks, the floor vibrates. When he stands still, he looks like a statue carved from stone. Not fat, despite what outsiders think. Sumo wrestlers at his level are athletes, trained in explosive power, balance, and leverage. His body is a weapon designed for one purpose: to move immovable objects, to absorb impact, to dominate physical space. His presence alone makes people step back. Takeshi's training began in Osaka, Japan. His father was a fisherman who saw size in his son early. At age 11, Takeshi was already 5 feet 6 inches and 180 pounds. His father sent him to a sumo stable, a traditional training house where boys live, eat, and breathe sumo. For 16 years, Takeshi trained under Oyakata Matsuda, one of Japan's strictest masters. Wake at 5 a.m. Train until breakfast. Eat massive meals designed to build mass. Train again. Eat again. Sleep. Repeat. Every day. Every year. No vacations. No breaks. just sumo. By age 20, Takeshi reached yokozuna rank, the youngest in his stable's history. By age 25, he was undefeated. By age 30, legendary. His signature technique was yorikiri, the frontal force out. Grab the opponent's mawashi, drive forward with unstoppable pressure, push them out of the ring. Simple, brutal, effective. In 89 consecutive victories, 71 ended with yorikiri. His opponents knew it was coming. They trained specifically to counter it. They still couldn't stop it. Takeshi's legs were too strong, his balance was too perfect, his weight was too overwhelming. Once he grabbed you, the match was over. You were leaving the ring whether you wanted to or not. But Takeshi's greatest victory wasn't in competition, it was in 1966 during a training session. A challenger arrived at the stable, a former judoka who'd switched to sumo, claiming the traditional ways were outdated. He was younger, faster, more agile. He mocked the older wrestlers, called them slow, predictable. Oyakata Matsuda allowed Takeshi to respond. The match lasted 4 seconds. Takeshi grabbed the challenger's mawashi, lifted all 280 pounds of him off the ground, carried him to the edge of the ring, and deposited him outside like a piece of luggage. The challenger never returned. The story spread through every sumo stable in Japan. Takeshi the Immovable became Takeshi the Unstoppable. But Takeshi has a flaw: pride bordering on arrogance. He believes sumo is the ultimate martial art because it's the oldest, the purest, the most traditional. Everything else is a derivative, a lesser form. Karate, just punching. Judo, sumo without the weight. Kung Fu, he's never even seen it. He assumes it's like the Chinese acrobatics he saw once at a festival, flips and spins with no practical application. Beautiful, but useless. When someone told him about Bruce Lee, about a Chinese martial artist who claims speed beats size, Takeshi laughed. Impossible. Physics doesn't allow it. Mass always defeats speed. Weight always dominates. Takeshi knows this because he's proven it 89 consecutive times. 3 days before the television taping, Takeshi read an article in the Toronto Star, an interview with Bruce Lee promoting his upcoming appearance on the Pierre Berton Show. The headline read, "Kung Fu Master claims size doesn't matter in real fighting." Takeshi read it twice. Then he read Bruce's quotes. "A skilled, smaller man can defeat a larger opponent through proper technique and understanding of leverage." Takeshi threw the newspaper down. Disrespectful, naive, dangerous. Young people might believe this. They might train improperly, get hurt, lose matches they should win. Someone needed to correct this misinformation. Someone needed to demonstrate the truth. Takeshi decided it would be him. When Takeshi arrives at the CFTO studio, he doesn't ask permission. He walks through the side entrance reserved for crew. Security sees his size and doesn't challenge him. He enters Studio 3 during a camera setup break. The producers notice him immediately. He stands in the aisle wearing his mawashi, the traditional sumo belt, bare-chested despite the December cold outside. The audience stares. They've never seen anyone like him. A producer approaches nervously. "Sir, this is a closed taping. You can't be here." Takeshi ignores him, scans the studio, spots Bruce Lee sitting in the guest chair reviewing notes. That's him, the Kung Fu man. The producer is confused. "Sir, you need to leave." Takeshi walks toward the stage. "I have a question for him." The floor manager signals the cameras to keep rolling. This is unplanned but potentially good television. Pierre Berton, ever the opportunist, senses a moment. He doesn't stop it. Bruce Lee looks up from his notes, sees the massive figure approaching. No alarm, no concern, just calm observation. Takeshi stands at the edge of the stage, looking down at Bruce, who remains seated. The size contrast is absurd. Takeshi's shadow covers Bruce entirely. "You are Bruce Lee?" His English is accented but clear. "I am," Bruce says. "You teach Kung Fu." "I teach martial arts, yes." "You say Kung Fu is fast, faster than other styles." I say effective movement is faster than wasted movement. Takeshi frowns. I hear you say small man can beat big man. Bruce nods. With the right understanding, yes. Takeshi's face hardens. This is the disrespect he came to correct. This is a lie. Size is advantage. Weight is power. I am yokozuna. I am 320 pounds. You are... He looks Bruce up and down with visible contempt. 140 pounds? Maybe. You cannot move me. You cannot hurt me. Your speed means nothing against my mass. The studio audience is silent. This wasn't in the script. The cameramen keep rolling. The producers are frozen, unsure whether to intervene. Pierre Berton leans forward in his chair, absolutely delighted. This is television gold. Bruce Lee stands slowly from his chair, still calm, still no visible reaction to the insult. You believe size always wins? I know it, Takeshi says. Then I'll accept your challenge, Bruce says quietly. Takeshi blinks. What challenge? I made no challenge. You just did, Bruce says. You came here to prove Kung Fu doesn't work. You came here to prove I'm wrong. So prove it. Demonstrate that I can't move you. The studio erupts in murmurs. The audience is shocked. The producers are panicking. Pierre Berton stands up, waves at the control booth. Keep rolling. Don't stop the cameras. He addresses Takeshi and Bruce. Gentlemen, we're live to tape. If both of you agree to a demonstration, we can allow it. Mr. Yamamoto, do you agree? Takeshi nods, smiling. This will be easy. This will be embarrassing for the Kung Fu man. Perfect. Mr. Lee, do you agree? Bruce nods. I agree. The floor manager clears the stage area, pushes the furniture back, creates a 20-foot circle of open space. The audience leans forward, not wanting to miss a second. The cameramen adjust angles. Wide shot to capture both men, close up on faces. This is no longer an interview. This is an event. Bruce removes his jacket. He's wearing simple clothes, black pants, black collared shirt, soft shoes. No uniform, no belt, no indication of rank, just street clothes. Takeshi removes his outer robe, stands in his mawashi, bare-chested, barefooted. His skin glistens under the studio lights. His muscles are visible beneath the layer of protective fat sumo wrestlers cultivate. His stance is wide, feet planted shoulder-width apart, weight centered low. Shiko dachi, sumo foundational stance. Unmovable. Bruce stands naturally, no deep stance. Feet at shoulder width. Weight on the balls of his feet. Hands relaxed at his sides. He looks like someone waiting for a bus. The audience sees the size difference clearly now. Takeshi is 6 feet 4 inches. Bruce is 5 feet 7 inches, 9 inches shorter. Takeshi weighs 320 pounds. Bruce weighs 141 pounds, 179 pounds lighter. When they stand facing each other, Takeshi's chest is level with Bruce's eyes. Takeshi's hands could wrap entirely around Bruce's torso. The visual is comical to some audience members. This looks like a father and son. This looks like a mismatch. This looks dangerous. One woman in the third row whispers to her husband, "This is going to be awful. Someone should stop this." Her husband nods but says nothing. They're both thinking the same thing. The small man is about to get hurt. This isn't entertainment. This is irresponsible. But Pierre Berton shows no concern. He's seen Bruce Lee's demonstrations on film. He knows something the audience doesn't. He's anticipating what's about to happen. Pierre Berton addresses them both. Gentlemen, the demonstration is this. Mr. Yamamoto believes his size makes him immovable. Mr. Lee believes technique can overcome size. We'll see a demonstration of both philosophies. Light contact only, no injuries. Everyone understand? Both men nod. Takeshi is smiling. He's played this scenario in his mind. The small man will push, shove, Try some technique. Takeshi will stand firm, absorb it, laugh. The small man will be embarrassed. Kung Fu will be exposed as theatrical nonsense. Takeshi will prove that tradition, weight, and sumo superiority are facts. Bruce looks at Takeshi with complete neutrality. No anger, no pride, just observation. He's studying the stance, the weight distribution, the breathing pattern, the tension in the shoulders. Takeshi spreads his arms wide, inviting Bruce to try. Push me. Move me. Use your kung fu speed. His voice drips with mockery. The audience holds its breath. Bruce doesn't move immediately. He circles slowly, observing. Takeshi rotates his torso to track Bruce's movement but keeps his feet planted. What are you waiting for? Scared? Takeshi taunts. Bruce doesn't respond. He continues circling, watching. Takeshi's smile fades slightly. This isn't going as expected. Why isn't the Kung Fu man attacking? Why is he just walking? Bruce completes the circle, returns to his starting position. He's seen what he needed to see. Takeshi's weight is distributed evenly across both feet. His knees are slightly bent, prepared to absorb forward pressure. His center of gravity is low, stable, perfect for sumo, perfect for resisting horizontal force. But there's a gap in the defense. A moment of vulnerability. When Takeshi breathes in, his chest rises. His weight shifts upward by a fraction of an inch. That fraction is all Bruce needs. Bruce stops circling. He stands directly in front of Takeshi, maybe 3 feet away. He raises his right hand, palm open, fingers extended. He places his palm against Takeshi's chest, right at the sternum. Light contact. Takeshi laughs. That's it? Push now. Show me your power. Bruce takes a half step closer. His left foot moves forward, his weight shifts slightly onto his front leg. His right hand remains on Takeshi's chest. He waits. Watches. Takeshi inhales, preparing to brace. His chest rises. His weight disconnects from the ground for a fraction of a second. Then Bruce moves. It's not a push. It's an explosion. A full-body whip starting from Bruce's rear foot, channeling through his hips, his torso, his shoulder, his arm, into his palm. The movement is so fast the cameras barely capture it. One frame Bruce is still. Next frame his body is extended. The force transfers into Takeshi's chest like a shockwave, precisely timed with the moment his weight is rising, not grounded. Takeshi's eyes go wide. His feet leave the floor. His massive body lifts 4 inches into the air and flies backward 8 feet, crashing into the studio wall with a sound like a car accident. The impact shakes the camera rig. The audience screams. Takeshi hits the wall and slides down, landing on his rear, legs splayed, stunned. The studio is silent. Absolute silence. 200 people frozen in shock. The cameramen forgot to breathe. The producers stare at their monitors, unable to process what they just watched. Pierre Berton's mouth is open. He's speechless for the first time in his career. Takeshi sits against the wall, chest heaving, eyes wide, trying to understand what happened. He's never been moved like that. Never. In 27 years of sumo. In 89 consecutive victories. In every training session, every tournament, every challenge. Never. His mind can't reconcile it. How? How did 141 pounds move 320 pounds? How did that small man generate that much force? How is he sitting against a wall 8 feet from where he stood? Bruce walks over, extends his hand. Takeshi stares at it for 3 seconds, then takes it. Bruce helps him to his feet. Takeshi stands, shaken, breathing hard. His chest has a red mark where Bruce's palm made contact, a perfect handprint visible on his skin. How? Takeshi asks quietly. Bruce meets his eyes. You were rooted in the ground. Your stance is designed for stability, for absorbing forward pressure. But I didn't push horizontally. I pushed at an angle, 15 degrees upward. You're trained to resist forward force. You're not trained to resist upward vector force. Your center of gravity went above your base of support. Physics did the rest. Takeshi processes this. His entire philosophy just broke. But you are so small. I am so much heavier. Weight doesn't matter if it's not connected to the ground, Bruce says. You gave me a moment, a fraction of a second where your weight was disconnected from your foundation. That's all I needed. Takeshi touches his chest, feels the handprint. I felt it, like lightning, not push, explosion. Bruce nods. Jing, explosive power, not muscular force, whole body coordination. The power comes from the ground, through the body, into the target. 1 inch of travel, full body weight behind it. The audience begins to applaud, slowly at first, then building. Not polite applause, genuine amazement. They just watched the impossible. They just saw a man half the size of his opponent launch him through the air like a child. Pierre Berton recovers his voice. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we just witnessed something extraordinary. He gestures to the cameras. We're keeping this in, all of it. He looks at Takeshi. Mr. Yamamoto, are you all right? Takeshi nods, still dazed. I am fine. I am humbled. He turns to Bruce. You were right. I was wrong. Forgive my arrogance. Bruce nods. There's nothing to forgive. You came to test a principle. We tested it. Now you know. Pierre Berton invites both men to sit. The interview continues for another 18 minutes. Bruce explains the principles of his philosophy, the economy of motion, the efficiency of movement, the difference between wasted energy and directed energy. Takeshi listens, absorbed, asking questions. His arrogance is gone, replaced by genuine curiosity. At one point, Takeshi asks, "Can you teach me?" Bruce smiles. You already know how to generate power. You just need to understand angles. Force doesn't always move in straight lines. Sometimes the shortest distance is a curve. Takeshi nods slowly. In sumo, we are taught straightforward, always forward. That's why you're so strong in one direction, Bruce says. But what happens when the direction changes? Takeshi laughs, a deep rumbling sound. I fly 8 feet and hit a wall. Bruce continues. Your sumo training is excellent. Your foundation is solid. But it's built for a specific context, a specific rule set, a specific type of opponent. Real combat has no rules, no ring, no referee. You need to be able to adapt, to respond to what is, not what you've practiced for. Takeshi absorbs this. So my training is wrong? No, Bruce says firmly. Your training is perfect for sumo. But if you want to understand fighting outside the ring, you need to expand your understanding. Not replace what you know. Expand it. Takeshi asks about the 1-inch punch, the technique Bruce just demonstrated. Bruce explains. It's not about the distance. It's about timing and body unity. Most people punch with their arm. I punch with my whole body. The arm is just the last link in the chain. The power starts in the feet, travels through the legs, the hips, the torso, the shoulder, then the arm. When all parts move as one, you don't need distance. You need coordination. He demonstrates again, this time slowly, showing Takeshi the mechanics, the weight shift, the hip rotation, the shoulder drive, the palm strike. See? Not arm power, whole body power. After the taping ends, Takeshi stays. He asks the producers for Bruce's contact information. He wants to learn more, to understand this philosophy that just shattered his worldview. Bruce gives him the address of his school in Los Angeles, invites him to visit. If you're serious, come train. I'll show you what Kung Fu really is. Takeshi nods. I will come. I must learn this. They shake hands again. This time it's not a greeting. It's respect between warriors. Mutual. Earned. Bruce notices Takeshi's grip, Firm but not crushing. Controlled strength. You have good hands, Bruce says. Strong but not tense. That's rare. Takeshi bows slightly. Thank you. That means much from you. Takeshi Yamamoto flew to Los Angeles 3 months later, March 1972. He trained with Bruce Lee for 2 weeks, learning Wing Chun principles, learning Jeet Kune Do philosophy, learning to see combat as fluid rather than fixed. Bruce taught him sensitivity drills, chi sao, sticking hands, teaching Takeshi to feel intention rather than react to movement. Takeshi struggled at first. His size worked against him in close-range techniques. His hands were too big for some positions, but Bruce adapted, showed him how to use his size differently. You're not trying to become a Wing Chun fighter. You're learning principles you can apply to your sumo. When someone tries to grab your mawashi, feel their intention before they commit. You'll know which direction they're going before they move. He returned to Toronto changed. He continued teaching sumo but incorporated what Bruce taught him, teaching his students about angles, about vectors, about understanding physics rather than just tradition. He told them the story of December 9, 1971, not as embarrassment, as lesson. I learned that day that knowledge has limits. I knew sumo perfectly. I knew nothing about anything else. That's not mastery. That's just specialization. He never forgot December 9, 1971, the day he learned that confidence without understanding is just arrogance. The day he flew 8 feet backward into a wall. The day Bruce Lee taught him that size is only an advantage if you know how to use it. Bruce rarely discussed the incident publicly. When asked about it years later, he said simply, "I didn't embarrass him. I educated him. There's a difference." He also said, Takeshi was a true martial artist. He came to test truth, not to win ego. When he saw the truth, he accepted it. That takes more strength than any punch. The footage aired on December 16, 1971. 4.2 million Canadians watched it. The clip became legendary, circulated in martial arts schools, debated in dojos, analyzed frame by frame. Some called it impossible. Some said it was staged. But the 200 people in that studio knew the truth. They saw it happen. They heard the impact. They watched a 320-pound sumo champion fly through the air like he weighed nothing. 200 witnesses, 9 who knew Bruce Lee's name before he stood up, 1 who learned the hardest lesson of his career, and 1 who taught with a single palm strike. December 9, 1971. CFTO Studios, Toronto. The day a sumo wrestler learned that mass without understanding is just weight. The day Bruce Lee proved that physics, when properly applied, makes size irrelevant.